I am vengeance. I am the night. I am sweating profusely in this mask. Hello, my name is John Harmon from Mint Condition Customs, and welcome to my first video review. Today I'll be looking at the Hot Toys Dx-12 Dark Knight Rises Batman 1/6 scale collectible action figure. First, we'll take a look at the box it comes in. It's mostly a nondescript charcoal gray color with the Dark Knight Rises symbol on the front made to look like the cracking ice from the film. I'm a big fan of minimalism, so I don't mind the lack of pictures or graphics. The box itself has this rough texture, while the logo is smooth and glossy, which is a very nice mix of textures and adds a level of value to the package. And at the bottom, you can see where it says Batman Dx-12 1/6 scale collectible action figure. On the back of the box, there's not much else other than a choking hazard, in case you were planning on giving this to a kid, or suppose if someone dared you to eat the action figure. The box is held shut with magnets and the cardboard flap, which work great and don't damage the box at all. On the inside flap, they printed the chalk version of the Dark Knight Rises symbol, as seen throughout the movie. Covering the figure is a piece of cardboard that holds the blueprints to the Bat, Batman's flying vehicle in the movie. It's made of paper and can be removed from the flaps holding it in. And right below it, printed in very small lettering, is one word: Rise. The cardboard is easily removed via a fabric tab at the bottom and has foam on the back protecting the contents within. The figure inside is very well packed, with all the contents in their own sections of foam, keeping everything safe. From here, you can see many of the accessories, with a thin cardboard covering giving you information about each part of the set. The cardboard piece can be removed, revealing even more of Batman's accessories. He comes with 4 alternate hands, 2 different utility belts, and an extra set of wrist pegs in case you break the ones already attached to the figure. And over here is a plastic tray collecting Batman's arsenal. He comes with his EMP gun, the sticky bomb gun, 2 batarangs, 2 mines, his grapple gun, and a special attachment for the bat pod to hook his EMP gun onto. And packed next to the alternate Bruce Wayne head is a collar piece you slip onto his neck when displaying the figure with this head. I'll be going over the accessories in depth in just a bit, but for now, let's take a look at the figure. Here's the figure just as he comes right out of the package. No belt, no cape, nothing extra. That way, you get the best look at him. The sculpt on this figure is absolutely phenomenal. Then again, what else can be said when speaking of a Hot Toys figure? The Batsuit looks amazing, and exactly as it did in the movie. The suit is so detailed that parts of the armor actually have a clear layer covering what's made to look like the Kevlar weaving underneath. The fact that they can even reproduce that kind of detail on this scale is nothing short of amazing. The head sculpt on this figure is just as amazing. The cowl has the perfect shape to it, with just the right amount of detail. You can actually see a face underneath the mask, with the depth in the sculpt separating the cowl from the eyes. His exposed face looks great too, and looks just like Christian Bale underneath. Because this is a DX figure, the head utilizes the parallel eyeball rolling system, or PERS, to allow his eyes to be positioned wherever you want. The PERS on Batman works fantastic. Thanks to a tool included in the set, you can insert it into the head and position the eyes to your liking. The movement is smooth and precise, and the eyes always move together perfectly. The best part about this suit is that it's actually fabric, with rubber armor pieces attached to it. Previous versions of this Batman had full rubber suits, but this is the first time they've been able to recreate a perfect scaled-down replica of the suit Christian Bale wore in the movie. I've seen a few places online where people complain that certain pieces of armor weren't the exact length they should have been, but I think that's the very definition of being nitpicky. It looks like Batman, and nobody is going to say it doesn't look like Christian Bale as Batman. The sculpt on this figure is perfect. Now, let's look at his articulation. The Batsuit sits on the standard Hot Toys True Type body, making this figure incredibly articulated. Of course, the suit does restrict some of that articulation, but it still has a very good range of motion. His head can turn and look pretty much any way you can think of because it's actually attached to the neck via a magnet. There's a metal plate lining the inside of the head that attracts it to the magnet in the neck. It holds very well, just don't try and lift the figure by the head. The neck itself can turn left and right and bend forward and backward as it's sitting on a ball joint. The shoulders are ball jointed, but again the suit does restrict it some. The arms also turn at the bicep and have double jointed elbows. The wrists also sit on ball joints. The way the suit is attached to the body leaves the torso with a lot of articulation. It can bend forward and backward, as well as turn slightly from side to side without even damaging the suit. The hips can spread apart about as far as you can see here in the video. The instructions included with the figure actually warn against spreading the legs any farther than this, since it could result in the suit tearing. However, it's still a good range of motion, and the hips have no problem moving back and forth and holding their positions. The legs also have thigh rotators and double jointed knees. And to top it off, his ankles are on double ball joints. The feet are actually separated from the rest of the boot to allow for a wider range of motion. Many collectors have lamented them breaking up the sculpt like this and I suppose ruining the illusion, but I'm an articulation junkie and I love the way the ankles are here. The more posability you can give a figure while still looking good, I'm all for it. And Hot Toys did a great job at balancing the sculpt and articulation in this figure. Alright, so let's take a closer look at each of Batman's accessories. This is Batman's bare utility belt. It's all one solid piece and has a lot of detail put into it. The inside has a strip of foam attached to help protect the suit once you put it on. There's also two magnets on the back of the belt to attach the two parts of the sticky bomb gun. This is the new utility belt made just for this set. It's made to look like the one he wears through most of the 3 movies, with the different compartments attached to it. Unlike previous utility belts, this one is made like the band of a watch. Each section on the belt is a separate piece and therefore fits around the waist of the figure really well. There's a strip of foam on the back that protects the suit, and there's also a clip on the back of the belt to holster Batman's grapple gun. Batman's cape is made from a nice fabric that looks just like the same kind used in the movie. It just clips very neatly into the armor on the shoulders and can even be removed again if need be. It's well cut and very long, giving it an impressive wingspan. Unfortunately, the cape doesn't have bendy wires going down the entire length so you can pose him gliding, as he did a lot in the movies. There is some wire though, going over the shoulders, to help it keep shape and to ensure that the cape lays just as you want it to. Despite the lack of a really posable cape, I still like it very much. As mentioned before, Batman has 4 extra hands in addition to the 2 fists he comes displayed with out of package. He has one for holding his mines, one for holding his batarangs, one for gripping the barrels of his guns or for grappling poses, and one gun hand meant for gripping around the triggers of his various guns. He also comes with 2 mines as seen throughout the films and look just like they did on screen. They fit great in his hands. His 2 batarangs are very nice looking, though all that cool detail is only sculpted on one side. Still, they look awesome and fit nicely into his appropriate hands. They're quite sharp too. His grapple gun looks just as it did in the movie. The barrel actually has a spring in it so you can cock it back. It's something you'll never need to display, but it's one of those finer details that really helps push this set over the top. You can also detach the bottom part of the gun, which I'm assuming is supposed to be the gas chamber that powers it. Again, it's a very nice touch. The sticky bomb gun comes in 2 sections that you have to transform manually and then connect them together. This is a great touch that mirrors the movie and looks and moves just as it did in the film. The 2 halves of the gun have no problem attaching to the utility belt, and the magnets hold on very tightly. It's a great display option if you want to recreate that scene from The Dark Knight. The Emp gun has a lot of cool features. The whole barrel of the gun actually slides back, fully revealing the lights within, just as it did in the movie when he wasn't using it. But the coolest part of the gun is when you flip a small switch on the underside of the barrel, the lights in the front actually light up! There's a single LED embedded in the barrel that pipes light through the rest of them and has a very cool effect. In the dark, you can really see the full effect of the lights. The gun looks great in Batman's hands as well. Batman includes 3 different faces for display. Using the special tool included in the set, you just insert it into a hole on the back side of the chin and pop the current face off. Each face fits and looks great in the head and pops off with no problem. In addition to his normal face, he has a growling, "Where's the trigger?" face. There's a lot of depth in the sculpt that really separates the lips, the teeth, and the inside of the mouth, adding to the realism. And then there's my favorite of the 3 faces, just an angry face. This one is perfect for any pose and looks great. The level of detail around the lips and the wrinkles look just like Christian Bale. I'm completely stunned by the alternate Bruce Wayne head sculpt. There's so much detail here, it's crazy. First of all, this head does not feature the purse system, but looks incredible nonetheless. Up close, you can see all the tiny skin wrinkles and pores, and they even sculpted Christian Bale's nose wart near his eye. You can really see the age in the face here that perfectly matches how he looked in The Dark Knight Rises. He's got this sullen stoicism to his expression that captures the Bruce Wayne character perfectly. When you slip the collar piece onto the neck, you can pop it onto the body to display Batman unmasked. The head looks great on the body. My only slight complaint would be that it's sometimes a little too hard to get it back off, but it's not a big problem. This set also includes a great looking base for Batman to be displayed on. There's a nameplate on the front with this set's designation. It's made to look like the steps of Gotham City Hall from the end of the film where he fights Bane. It's also got this awesome cracked Batman symbol that's sculpted into the steps, and has sculpted snow all around the steps as well. It has an adjustable cradle to help balance the figure, which is always something great to have on such a high-end collectible. And because this is a DX set, the base has 2 tracking lights on the front that light up when 3 AAA batteries are inserted into it. The batteries are not included, so make sure to have some handy. Batman looks fantastic posed on the base, and the tracking lights make this look like a museum piece. They're not incredibly bright, but you can still easily make them out in the dark, and it helps it stand out on a dark shelf for sure. Alright, time for a size comparison. I don't have any other Hot Toys figures. Yes, that's right, this is my first. But here he is next to the Mattel Dark Knight Rises Movie Masters Batman figure, so you can see the difference in height as well as detail. I wanted this to be my first Hot Toys purchase because I'm a huge Batman fan and it seemed like an amazing set. Well, I'm happy to report that this set does not disappoint. It is incredible. The detail, the accessories, the articulation, everything adds up to something that's really special. The only possible deterrent there could ever be to buying this figure would be the price. The original price was $260, and to be fair, it does seem kind of light on the accessories for that price. However, when you factor in the level of engineering gone into getting his suit exactly as it is in the movie, you can see where a lot of that cost goes. I purchased mine at BigBadToyStore.com, and luckily he's still available there. You can purchase your own by clicking the link in the description. So if you're a Batman fan, especially of the Christopher Nolan movies, then you will love this set. I can go on forever about how great it is, but instead I'll let it speak for itself from here on out. Be sure to visit www.mintconditioncustom.com to view my gallery of all my custom action figures and check out my other figure reviews. Thanks for watching.